let's talk about UGC content. In today's video, I'm going to share with you everything that you need to know as a creator to get started in UGC. And also, if you are someone on the brand side that's listening in, I think you'll also get a lot of valuable information out of today's video, because not only am I going to be sharing what a UGC creator is, how to get started, the benefits, I'm also going to be sharing some benefits for people on the brand side. Before we get started, make sure you hit subscribe to our channel so you can be kept up to date on all things social media, UGC content, social media strategy, creator economy, all that good stuff. And if you are a UGC creator or a content creator or influencer, just know we have free trainings every month on how to work with brands, how to land paid brand deals. So if that is something you're interested in, you want to reach out to brands, you want to pitch to them, you want to get them to pay you for your content, definitely come to my free training. You're going to learn a lot. So first off, I would just like to start by saying that when we started in this industry about 10 years ago, that term was a very different term than what it is today. UGC, when we first really started off, it stands for user generated content. But it used to be really when like your fans or people that loved your product or really loyal customers would post about you on social, and then the brands would reuse this content in their social media content calendars. So to give you an example, if you were, let's just say, a hotel, and you would look in your hotel hashtag and you would see who's posting about us, what content's good, what content is user generated, and how can we use this content in our social media, right? To post themselves organically on their page. What's happened in the last couple of years is that brands and creators alike are overwhelmed by all the content that is needed to be created, right? We're all on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, blogs, emails. There is a lot of content out there. And on top of it, the style of content has changed. I think we're seeing a big shift from overly polished, beautiful, perfect content to more raw and authentic looking content. And I think this is due big in part to the rise of TikTok, right? TikTok kind of smashed the window on all things aesthetic and beautiful and really created a new type of content that is a little bit more raw and human focus, I would say. Like, you just feel more connected to this type of content. So brands are understanding, you know what, instead of doing these like really highly professional photo shoots, let's use our budget to develop content that looks like it was created by our fans, or has that, again, a little bit more of a raw appeal to it. Maybe it just shows like a video of, you know, the content being used or in motion, and it feels like, oh, anyone could have created this, and it fits in naturally. You see, because when you think about user generated content in a feed, let's just say you're swiping, you know, along on TikTok, and all of a sudden you see content just from normal people, and then you see a highly curated or highly edited video. You're like, this doesn't belong here. This looks different here. We need content that looks like it fits in here. And that is where the UGC style of content really comes to play, because it fits organically into what people already like to see. So instead of relying on their fans and their users to post this type of content and, you know, go to them and say, hey, can we reshare it? Brands are hiring this style of content out. They are hiring it out to creators to create this UGC style of content. Now, a lot of people would refer to this as just content creation, which it is. UGC content is obviously a type of content creation, but there's different forms, right? Like for us on the social side or on the brand side, when I think about like content creation, I'm thinking about a creator shooting content and us using it on our page, right? But if I wanted to have like a testimonial style video, or feeling like it's my fans or it's my customers or people that are using my product, if I was in a product-based industry, I may want like actual people, or showing the product arriving in the mail and like, again, you know, unboxing it, showing it off. And again, not always having the talent presenting the topic, but maybe it's just their hands and they're showing the product. Brands are getting savvy and they're saying, this is a type of content that does well. This is a type of content we want to put ad budget behind. And this is a type of content we're looking to hire out. So it really is a win-win for creators that want to create this type of content and for brands that are looking for it. Now, it's important to know that this type of UGC content is when a brand pays a creator to create this content to use on the brand brand's page, okay? So the creator is not required to post it on their page. That is more of the influence track. This is, we're talking a bit more creator centric. The brand says, hey, I need you to shoot like 15 TikToks. These are the different styles, send them over. This is what we're paying you. Okay, so it's like creating a style of work. Now, what's interesting here is that a lot of times brands are also using this type of UGC content to run ads to. This is where it gets really interesting because brands are, you know, taking an amazing testimonial style video, or maybe it's a piece of content where the creator is like, again, trying something on and it looks like it would be a customer, and they're running ads to it. So to the brands that are listening in, we're seeing a big shift in that. Brands are hiring out talent and they're trying to create content that fits organically within a feed. The biggest thing you need to know when it comes to UGC is that it's not meant to feel salesy. It's not meant to feel overly produced or overly edited. It's really meant to feel like it is totally authentic, totally organic, you know, made on the iPhone, made on a phone, whatever, to have that feel of, wow, someone else made this, they stand by it. And that's why the concept of social proof is a big thing when it comes to UGC content, because it acts as social proof. Because if you're scrolling and you see someone, I don't know, again, doing some sort of content that, some sort of TikTok video showing off a product, let's just say, and you see it comes from the brand page, but it's actually a person and they're someone that you see yourself in. Maybe it's another mom and I see another, you know, mom with her kids and they're using this product. I can relate to it. And that creates that connection between the brand and the customer. It's a missing link. And a lot of times UGC creators, again, you don't always have to show your face or show your likeness. For some people who are comfortable being on camera, then that works well for them. But for others, you don't have to by any means be in the content. Sometimes, again, it's just like your hands or, you know, using a part of your body because you're standing far away and you're just kind of in the shot, but it's not like fully on camera. So you don't have to stress if that's something that you're not interested in. Now, some big benefits of diving into the UGC world, there's a bunch, right? One, you don't have to stress on follower count because you're really not pitching your audience or pitching the influence side. You're saying, hey, I got the skills. I can create this type of content, stop motions, you know, slow-mo, drone, whatever type of content, you know. Really, when I say anyone can do it, it's something that, because it doesn't require this high level of production, it's meant to feel like, again, a user, a fan, someone made it. There are low barriers to entry. You're getting paid to be creative. You don't specifically have to have a niche like you would as an influencer. It helps to have a niche in UGC content because let's just say you're like really good at doing like, I don't know, real estate style of UGC content for real estate companies. It would help the pitch and the sell when you're reaching out to these companies. You can show them your portfolio and it's all very relevant content, but you don't have to really niche yourself down. You can have a variety of content in your portfolio. It's definitely a way to increase your income outside of your 9 to 5. You don't by any means have to quit. We're seeing a lot of creators do that. And also, you, if you do decide to do this, it is a nomadic, you know, type of job, remote work, depending on what it is that you're shooting. You know, these are types of things that sometimes I've seen UGC creators, like the brand will ship them the product and then they'll bring it with them as they're traveling to shoot, you know, depending where they're at. A big benefit is if you get good at this type of content and you are steady, a brand may just hire you on retainer to create, you know, again, a certain type of, certain number of videos for them, or, you know, photos or whatever it is, whatever type of content they're looking for monthly. So it's really nice when it comes to like retainer based work. Now, if you're a brand listening in, this is a great way for you to divvy up that budget, right? If you have a production budget for content, instead of paying one person to do it in-house, you can, you know, paid a bunch of different types of creators and get different types of, you know, talent literally on your page. So from a diversity perspective as well, and diversity in the style, like one creator may really be good at a stop motion style video and another creator may be really good at trending and someone else is really good at, you know, packing things up. So again, it's like figuring out where the talent lies, what type of content you think does well, and then hiring it out. And then obviously from a production standpoint as well, instead of of, again, paying someone in-house to do all that content for you, you may find it to be a bit more financially beneficial to split that up. You're only paying for content, you're not paying for influence. So when you're paying for content, you know, you need content on your pages anyways. So it's helpful to, it's something that you're going to need anyways, right? So it's a good investment, especially if it's done in a way that you can run ads to. If you already have an ad budget planned, you can use this UGC content in your ads as well. Now, just to know, I want like to get everyone here thinking like strategically. When a creator is working with a brand on UGC style of work, let's just say they create an ad for them and the brand puts a $30,000 ad spend behind the ad, and this ad does really, really well, that brand is going to come back to you. And when I say does really well, it converts. Let's just say the brand makes like $100,000 in sales after running these ads, you know, using your video. This is a really great way for brands, you know, they're going to see, wow, this type of content works. I want to go back to it. So as a UGC creator, super important that you stay up to date on what type of content does well, that you're on the platforms that you're creating for, just having your, you know, ear to the pavement, so to speak, so that you can kind of see the trends or seeing what is it that people like, what are styles, invent your own, and all that good stuff. Remember guys, brands are on the lookout for UGC style of creators. This is like a big need right now in our industry. If you are looking to get brands to notice you, to understand, to reach out to you, to understand ways that you guys can work together, we do have a mini course on all things on how to get brands to notice you. It's applicable to influencers as well as UGC creators, content creators. So definitely check that out if you are looking to have brands reach out to you first. One thing I know a lot of people are going to ask me is when it comes to UGC content as a brand or as a creator, how do I charge for this? Obviously, this is something that we at Sidewalker Daily don't believe in formulas or set rates. This is something we actually are very intentional about on how to come up with rates, and we dive super deep into it in our Pitching to Brands Master course, because again, it really depends on so many factors. You know, especially as a UGC creator, you'll have to start to think, okay, am I doing a package for them? Is it a bundle? Is it just like a few pieces? Is it one video? What are the usage, if any? Like, am I giving this to the brand or am I licensing it to them, right? And so there's so many things that kind of go into play. We don't really think that you should kind of do anything on like hourly basis. I think what is helpful is just in general, when you are working with brands, is to give a package rather, and you being able to map out based on what the brand's goals are or like how they want the video to look. Again, filming, you know, UGC content in your home is very different than if you have to like go somewhere and like at a studio and like all the things, right? So it's just things to consider when you're coming up with your rates. And again, when you start thinking about how to charge, think about things like, again, are you in the video? Are they using your likeness? Is there talent involved? What's the production look like? And if you really want to dive deep into your specific rates and the content that you're creating, you can definitely book a call with me and we can go over that and come up with a custom rate plan for you. So that's something we definitely offer here at Sidewalker Daily. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining, and I will see you guys in the next video.